It was supposed to be just another ordinary day in Parliament. Another round of speeches, familiar promises, and rehearsed debates. Lawmakers took their seats expecting business as usual, the routine of South Africa's democracy playing out as it always does. But what happened on this particular day shattered that routine like lightning tearing across a dark sky. It didn't just shock the public outside. It rattled even the most hardened veterans inside the chamber. This was a moment South Africa had never witnessed before, a crack in the political system that many now describe as a turning point. From the very beginning, tension hung in the air. Members of Parliament whispered nervously, glancing across the floor. Phones buzzed constantly with messages and rumors, their screens lighting up with whispers of something explosive about to unfold. Everyone felt the energy shift, but no one could have predicted what would come next. Then, suddenly, Gayton McKenzie rose from his seat. The fiery and unpredictable leader of the Patriotic Alliance had everyone's attention. The entire chamber froze, because when McKenzie speaks, he doesn't sound like a cautious politician. He speaks like a fighter stepping into the ring, ready for battle. And then came the unthinkable. McKenzie called for the immediate arrest of President Cyril Ramaphosa. For a moment, the chamber went silent. Then gasps filled the air. Some MPs laughed in disbelief, others erupted in anger, while a small group clapped in fierce approval. McKenzie, however, was absolutely serious. His voice thundered through the chamber as he declared that if ordinary South Africans are arrested every single day for breaking the law, then the president must not be exempt. No one, he shouted, is above accountability. Chaos exploded instantly. Shouts echoed from one side of the chamber to the other. Some members hurled insults, others applauded, and soon the entire hall descended into a scene more like a battlefield than a legislative session. Opposition MPs jumped to their feet. Some staged a dramatic walkout, chanting in unison, "Ramaphosa must go! Ramaphosa must go!" Their voices grew louder, the chants echoing through the chamber and spilling into the streets outside, where protesters waiting near the gates picked up the same call. At the same time, furious ANC MPs accused McKenzie of poisoning democracy with reckless theatrics. They stormed out in anger, shouting back at the Patriotic Alliance leader, warning that his outburst was not only dangerous but destabilizing for the entire country. It was a clash that turned Parliament upside down, a moment that blurred the line between order and chaos. And in the very center of the storm sat President Cyril Ramaphosa. He did not rise to speak. He did not shout back. Instead, he sat in silence, his jaw clenched, his hands tightly clasped together, his face impossible to read. That silence quickly became the most talked about moment of the day. Some saw it as calm leadership, a refusal to be dragged into the storm. Others saw it as weakness, the silence of a man losing his grip on power. The cameras captured every second, and within minutes, Ramaphosa's stillness was trending across the nation. Then something even more shocking unfolded. Opposition parties that usually fight over everything suddenly began to align. Their divisions seemed to fade, their voices merging into a single demand: Cyril Ramaphosa must go. It was no longer about ideology, no longer about left versus right or party versus party. For one rare moment, the battle lines disappeared, and the opposition found unity in a single question. Can Ramaphosa still lead South Africa? Inside Parliament, the atmosphere was electric, almost unbearable. It wasn't just another shouting match. It was the sound of the ground shifting beneath the country's political establishment. Commentators watching live described it as a crack in the armor of the ruling party, a public display of weakness that could not be ignored. For millions of South Africans, weary of broken promises and frustrated by the endless tide of scandals, it felt like the release of a long-simmering anger. The symbolism was impossible to miss. For years, Parliament has been a stage for political theater, but this was something different. This was raw, unfiltered, and emotional. Ordinary citizens saw their frustrations voiced in the bluntest of terms. No speeches filled with jargon, no delicate negotiations. Just a direct demand for accountability at the highest level. But here's the deeper truth. This story will not be written by politicians alone. What unfolded that day in Parliament is only the beginning. The real story will be written by ordinary South Africans, by workers who struggle to make ends meet, by students demanding opportunities, by mothers and fathers fighting for a better future for their children. It will be written by people who have grown tired of leaders who preach integrity but practice corruption, people who are demanding that accountability start at the very top. The events of that day have left the nation with questions that cannot be ignored. Was McKenzie's call for Ramaphosa's arrest simply political theater, designed to grab headlines and rally support? Or was it the first spark of something bigger, the opening act of a movement that could reshape the country's leadership? Is Ramaphosa still strong enough to weather the storm? Or has his presidency entered its final, irreversible chapter? What is certain is that South Africa's political landscape will never look the same again. The chants, the fury, the silence, the unity of opposition voices. All of it marked a moment that will be remembered for years to come. Whether it leads to real change or fades into just another dramatic episode depends not only on the politicians inside Parliament but on the citizens outside of it. So, what do you think? Was this just another spectacle in a Parliament known for its drama? Or was this the beginning of something much larger? Something that could rewrite the course of South African politics? Let us know in the comments, because this debate belongs not just to lawmakers but to every South African invested in the future of their country. And remember to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the nation's unfolding political story, because this drama is far from over.